Digital communication shapes how we love, how we marry, how we stay together, and how we fall apart. It rewires the rhythm of connection in ways so subtle that most people do not notice until something breaks. Yet within this vast technological shift lies an extraordinary opportunity to rediscover what love truly means. Not the filtered version, not the curated highlight reel. The real kind, the resilient kind, the kind that survives the storms and ages with grace. Today, we stand at a crossroads. On one side is the world we once knew, where love was built in the spaces between words, where trust grew through time, and where patience was the foundation of every partnership. On the other side is the world we now live in, where connection is instant, communication is constant, and attention is the currency that seems to run out faster than ever. As we navigate this new era, we must pause for a moment. We must breathe and ask ourselves the questions we often avoid. Are we using digital communication to strengthen our bonds, or are we allowing it to chip away at them? Are we more connected, or merely more exposed? Are we communicating more, yet understanding less? In a world of messages sent in a second, the danger is that love might also become something we expect to arrive instantly. But love has never worked that way. Marriage has never worked that way. Real intimacy takes time, intention, presence. Digital tools can help us share our hearts across oceans, yet they can also keep us emotionally distant across the same room. And the tension defines modern love. Think about the way we speak to the people we love. A text message can say many things, but it cannot carry the warmth of a held hand. A heart emoji can highlight affection, but it cannot replace the way someone's voice softens when they say the words out loud. A video call can bridge continents, but it still leaves us longing for the physical comfort of someone sitting beside us. Still, digital communication is not the enemy. It is a tool, a powerful one, a tool that, when used with intention, can nourish a marriage as deeply as any traditional form of connection. It can allow partners to check in during the busiest days. It can help repair misunderstandings before they grow into wounds. It can provide small bursts of tenderness that remind us we are loved, even in the middle of a chaotic life. But for that to happen, we must be aware of the challenges. We must be honest about the temptations. We must acknowledge how easily technology can become a wall instead of a bridge. And we must choose, with courage and clarity, how to use it in ways that protect the love we fight so hard to build. One of the greatest challenges of digital communication is the illusion of closeness. Two people can exchange hundreds of messages in a day and still drift further apart. It is possible to talk constantly without ever saying anything that matters. It is possible to share photos and stories and updates, yet never share the truth living underneath the surface. And when partners confuse constant contact with genuine emotional intimacy, they often discover that their relationship is fragile when real storms arrive. Another challenge is comparison. Social media shows us marriages that look effortless, families that appear perfect, couples who seem endlessly affectionate. And even when we know deep down that these images are curated, retouched, and filtered, a small voice inside whispers that maybe our love should look like that too. That maybe our partner should speak more beautifully, plan more romantically, or appear more flawless. But love is not a performance. Marriage is not a competition. And the more we compare our lives to digital illusions, the more we forget that behind every perfect picture is a human being with flaws, fears, arguments, and sleepless nights. Comparison steals gratitude. It blurs the real miracle of loving someone who is imperfect, and being loved by someone who sees our own imperfections clearly but chooses us anyway. When digital communication pushes us toward comparison, we must gently return to appreciation. We must remember what is real. Trust is another delicate piece of modern love. Technology provides new ways to connect, but also new ways to hide. Conversations can disappear. New relationships can spark through a message that feels harmless at first but begins to cross lines slowly. The small secrets begin quietly. A deleted chat here, a late night reply there, a moment of vulnerability shared with someone who is not a partner. And suddenly, the relationship begins to fracture not because of one grand betrayal, but because of many tiny choices made in the shadows of a screen. Trust cannot survive in darkness. It must be fed with transparency, honesty, and boundaries. Digital communication can tempt us with infinite possibilities, but love requires discipline. It requires choosing your partner again and again, not only in your heart, but in your actions. And that includes the actions no one sees. But even with these challenges, there is hope. In fact, there is more than hope. There is opportunity. The very tools that challenge modern love can also strengthen it far beyond what previous generations ever imagined. Think of the couples separated by distance, able to see each other's faces every night through a screen. Think of the partners who send small messages of encouragement during long work hours, keeping each other close. Think of the memories preserved in shared photos, the jokes that light up a stressful day, the moments of vulnerability shared at midnight through a message that says I miss you or I need you or I'm sorry or I love you. Digital communication allows love to be present in the spaces between our physical lives. A supportive message can shift an entire day. A thoughtful voice note can soften hardened emotions. A simple I believe in you can give strength to someone who feels invisible. These moments may be small, but marriage is built from small moments. Love grows in the quiet gestures, not the grand ones. Still, for all its power, digital connection must never replace real presence. Two people cannot build a lasting marriage through screens alone. A relationship needs touch, tone, shared experiences, physical closeness, and the kind of silence that feels comfortable only when two hearts have learned to trust each other deeply. No amount of digital communication can replace the magic of laughing together in the same space or holding each other after a difficult day. So we must learn balance. We must learn boundaries. We must learn the art of intentional connection. And we must learn to treat technology as a supplement to love, not a substitute for it. This balance begins with self-awareness. Ask yourself how you use digital tools in your relationship. Did they connect you or distract you? Do they soothe or irritate? Did they deepen communication, or did they lead to assumptions and misunderstandings? Did they help you grow closer, or did they slowly create emotional distance? Reflection is powerful. It allows couples to reshape their habits deliberately. Next comes presence. In a world full of notifications and constant alerts, one of the greatest gifts we can offer our partner is undivided attention. Putting your phone down in the middle of a conversation is an act of respect. Closing your laptop when your partner walks into the room can be an act of love. Listening fully, without glancing at a screen, tells someone they matter more than anything else. Competing for your focus. Presence is the heartbeat of intimacy. Another vital piece is communication. Not the instant kind, not the brief messages sent while multitasking, but the deep kind. The conversations that ask how are we really doing? The moments when partners speak honestly about their needs, fears, hopes, doubts, and dreams. Digital communication can start these conversations, but they must continue face to face. Marriage requires real dialogue, not only digital dialogue. Then there is patience. Technology has conditioned us to expect fast replies, immediate solutions, instant gratification. But relationships still move at the pace of the human heart. They require patience when someone is not ready to talk yet. Patience when misunderstandings take time to unravel. Patience when growth is slow and healing requires space. Digital communication often speeds up our expectations, but love demands that we slow down. Finally, love in the digital age requires intention. Intention in how we speak. Intention in how we listen. Intention in when we reach for our phones and when we put them away. Intention in the boundaries we set. Intention in the moments we choose to be fully present. Intention in the way we express affection, gratitude, support, and appreciation. Technology will continue to evolve. New apps will appear. New platforms will rise. New ways of communicating will emerge. But the core of love will never change. Love requires vulnerability. It requires trust. It requires time. It requires kindness. It requires effort. It requires choosing the same person not only on the good days but on the complicated ones. Marriage is built on the unglamorous work of understanding each other. It is built on choosing empathy over ego, compassion over conflict, and truth over convenience. Digital communication can empower this work, but it cannot replace it. So let this era be an invitation. An invitation to use technology with intention. An invitation to protect your love with clarity and awareness. An invitation to strengthen your marriage by blending modern tools with timeless principles. Use digital communication to say the words your partner needs to hear. Use it to remind them they are valued, appreciated, and cherished. Use it to send hope in the middle of a difficult morning. Use it to soften a disagreement before it becomes a wound. Use it to share your heart in small but meaningful ways. But do not let technology distract you from the deeper work. Make time for real conversations. Make time for shared experiences. Make time for presence. Make time for silence together. Make time for affection and forgiveness. Make time for love in its purest form, the kind that does not need a screen to express itself. And above all, remember this. In a world overflowing with digital noise, the rarest thing you can offer your partner is your full attention. Your quiet presence. Your honest heart. Your undivided presence is worth more than any message ever could be. Modern love is not weaker than the love of previous generations. It is simply being tested in new ways. Those who rise to meet these challenges will build relationships more resilient than ever before. Couples who blend technology with intention will develop deeper trust, stronger communication, and a bond that thrives in both the physical and digital world. So choose each other deliberately. Speak with honesty. Love with patience. Communicate with tenderness. Use technology wisely, but never let it become the center of your connection. Let it be a tool that supports your love, not a replacement for it. In the end, love is not measured by the number of messages exchanged, but by the depth of understanding shared. Marriage is not strengthened by constant contact, but by meaningful connection. And true intimacy is not built on the speed of communication, but on the sincerity of it. Your relationship is worth protecting. Your marriage is worth investing in. Your love is worth the effort. In this digital age, let your commitment shine brighter than the glow of any screen. Let your presence feel stronger than any notification. And let your love story be one that technology enhances, not one it consumes. Because the most powerful signal you can ever send does not come from a device. It comes from your heart. It comes from the courage to stay open, the discipline to stay devoted, and the willingness to stay connected in the ways that matter the most. That is the foundation of modern love. That is the promise of a resilient marriage. And that is the path toward a connection that thrives in every era to come.